I faked feeling sick and left the base dinner. Minutes later, an officer's wife collapsed, her face turning the color of spoiled milk as she clawed at her throat, gasping for air that wouldn't come. The room erupted in screams, silverware clattering to the floor like spent casings, but I was already slipping out the side door, heart pounding not from guilt, but from the cold satisfaction of watching the first domino fall. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but mine was laced with arsenic, literal and otherwise, and as the sirens wailed in the Texas night, I knew this was just the appetizer. The air outside the officers' mess hall hit me like a slap from an old lover, humid, thick with the scent of mesquite smoke from some distant barbecue pit, and undercut by the faint rot of the Rio Grande a few miles off. Fort Bliss stretched out under a sky bruised purple by dusk, floodlights buzzing like angry hornets over the rows of barracks. I leaned against the stucco wall, wiping sweat from my brow with the back of my hand, tasting the metallic tang of fear mixed with triumph. My stomach wasn't churning from the flu-eyed mind. It was the weight of 10 years' worth of buried rage finally uncoiling. I'd planned this for months, every detail etched into my brain like a kill zone map. The dinner was mandatory. Colonel Harlan Hawk, Whitaker's big shindig to celebrate his latest promotion. The kind of event where brass polish their egos with crystal glasses and whispers of future stars. Hawk, my CO since Afghanistan. The man who'd pulled me from the rubble of a bombed-out clinic in Kandahar back in '09. Or so the story went. But stories lie, especially the ones we tell ourselves to sleep at night. I lit a cigarette, the flame flickering in the wind, and inhaled deep, letting the nicotine steady my nerves. Footsteps crunched on the gravel path behind me, too light for a grunt, too purposeful for a drunk. I didn't turn. I didn't need to. "You good, Ramirez?" came the voice, low and edged with that New York sarcasm that always made her sound like she was mocking the world.
Sergeant Elena Vasquez.
My spotter in 3 tours. The one who'd saved my ass more times than I could count by calling out tangos before I even heard the click of an AK. We'd shared foxholes.
Murray's.
And once, in a moment of dust-choked delirium after a firefight, a kiss that tasted like cordite and regret.
Now.
She was Hawk's golden girl, his executive officer, whispering in his ear while I rotted in logistics, pushing papers for the supply chain that kept the drones fueled. "Yeah," I muttered, exhaling smoke toward the horizon where the Chihuahuan desert swallowed the last sliver of sun. Just the chow hit me wrong. "You see what happened in there?" She stepped into my peripheral, arms crossed over her tactical vest, her dark hair pulled into a bun that did nothing to hide the tension in her jaw. "Mrs. Whitaker. Poison.
They think.
MPs are swarming like flies on shit." Hawk's losing his mind, called in the hazmat team already. Her eyes flicked to mine, sharp as a bayonet. "You were right next to her table. Funny how you bailed right before." I forced a chuckle, dry as the sand under my boots. "Coincidence?"
El.
"You know me, stomach's been acting up since that last rotation. Probably the damn lies again. Lies slipped off my tongue easy these days. Honed by years of debriefs where the truth got you a psych eval and a one-way ticket to Walter Reed."
She didn't buy it.
Never did. Elena had a nose for bullshit, the kind that came from growing up in the Bronx with a cop dad who beat the streets until they beat him back.
Bullshit.
"You've been off since you got back from leave. What's eating you, Jax? This ain't you skipping out on a command dinner like some punk."
Jax.
Only she called me that anymore. Short for Jackson Hale. The name on my dog tags that felt like a stranger's these days. I took another drag, watching the cherry glow like a tracer round. Maybe I'm just tired of the circus. Hawk's parade. All that backslappin' for a war we're losing anyway. What's the point? Her hand landed on my shoulder. Firm but not unkind. The point is family. We're all we've got out here.
You?
Me? The unit. Don't go ghostin' on me now. She squeezed, then let go, her boots scuffing as she turned back toward the chaos inside. Get some rest. I'll cover for you with the log. As her silhouette faded into the lit doorway, I crushed the cigarette under my heel and slipped into the shadows of the motor pool. The base was a labyrinth that night, Hummers parked like sleeping beasts, chain-link fences rattling in the breeze. My truck was there, a beat-up Ford F-150 with mud-caked tires from off-road runs I'd taken to clear my head. Keys in the ignition. Always, paranoia had its perks. I fired it up, the engine growling low, and eased out onto the access road, headlights off until I hit the perimeter gate. The guard waved me through without a second glance. SBC Ramirez from my old platoon, probably still grateful for the time I pulled him out of a ditch during a sandstorm drill. Small mercies. 20 minutes later, I was off base, the neon glow of El Paso flickering on the horizon like a fever dream. My apartment was a third-floor walk-up in a complex called Sunset Villas, irony at its finest, since the only sunsets you saw were through bars on the windows. I parked in the alley, killed the engine, and sat there a minute, listening to the tick of cooling metal. Inside, the place smelled like stale coffee and gun oil. My life in 2 rooms, a bed that sagged like my resolve, a kitchenette with takeout boxes stacked like ammo crates, and a safe bolted to the floor holding my Beretta and the one thing that kept me going, the flash drive. I cracked a beer from the fridge, the hiss echoing too loud in the silence, and slumped at the scarred Formica table. The news on my phone was already buzzing. Tragic incident at Fort Bliss. Officer's wife in critical condition. No names yet, but it wouldn't take long. Hawk would lock it down, spin it as food poisoning or some freak allergy. But I knew better. I'd slipped the vial into her wine glass during the toast, colorless, odorless. The kind of shit you learn to procure on the dark web if you're desperate enough. Ricin, they called it in the briefings. But to me, it was justice. Slow and burning. Why her? Why start with the wife? Because Harlan Whitaker built his empire on lies. And Laura was the cornerstone. Sweet Laura. The high school sweetheart from back in Austin. The one who'd waded through deployments with bake sales and care packages. The one who'd looked the other way when he came home reeking of other women's perfume. But she knew.
Oh.
She knew everything. I pulled a flash drive from the safe, plugging it into my laptop with hands that finally started to shake. Files unfolded like a house of cards, emails, photos, redacted reports. The truth I'd carried like a rucksack full of bricks since that night in Kandahar. Hawk hadn't pulled me from rubble, he'd buried me in it. And I'd taken the fall for him. For her. For the whole rotten command structure that chewed up grunts like me and spat out heroes like him. It started with a raid gone wrong. Intel said the clinic was a Taliban front, hiding explosives under the pediatric ward. We went in hot, me,
And
a squad of fresh-faced kids, and found nothing but screaming locals and a doc with a stethoscope still warm from a kid's chest. Hawk called the abort too late. Mortars started falling, courtesy of his reliable source. Building came down. Dust and screams everywhere. I dug out 3 bodies, 2 privates, pulverized, and the dock. His eyes open like he was begging for an answer. Hawk's voice on the radio. Calm as a politician. Hail. Report. I reported what I saw, nothing. A clusterfuck. But back at FOB.
It changed.
Friendly fire, he said in the AAR. Your squad hit a tripwire. Bullshit. The tripwire was his ego, pushing for the glory kill to pad his OER. I signed off on it, because what choice did a staff sergeant have? Deny your CO? And you're the one in Leavenworth. But there was more. The doc, not Taliban.
Tayaset.
Running meds to the resistance. Hawk knew, hell. He greenlit the tip. Collateral, they called it. Laura found out later. Through some whisper network of wives who traded secrets like trading cards. She confronted him, recorded it on her phone. You killed innocents.
Harlan.
For what? A medal? His response, war's dirty.
Babe.
You want a house in Austin? The college funds? Shut your mouth. She didn't. But I did. When she came to me, tears streaming, begging me to back her story. You're the only one who saw.
Jax.
Tell them. I could've. One word to Jag, and his star plummeted. But Elena pulled me aside. Think.
Man.
You blow this. We all go down. Hawk's got pull senators. Generals. You're just a trigger puller. Loyalty. That's what she called it. Fear. That's what it was.
So elite.
Took the heat for the bad intel, demoted to desk jockey, while Hawk climbed. And Laura? She stayed silent. But the guilt ate her.
Booze.
Pills. Affairs to numb it. With me. Once. In a motel off I-10. Her whispering apologies into my neck as we pretended it fixed something.
Now.
With her in the ICU. Tubes snaking like accusations. The board was clear. Hawk would come for answers. And I'd give him ghosts. I drained the beer, the cold fizz biting my throat, and started packing, go bag with cash. Fake ID. The Beretta cleaned and loaded. El Paso to Albuquerque. Then vanish into the Rockies. But first, the real feast. The drive back to base was a blur. Sodium lamps streaking like RPG trails. I parked a quarter-mile out, cut through the scrub to the Whitaker quarters. Colonel's got the nice ones. 2-story with white pickets and a swing set for the kid who wasn't mine. Lights on in the living room. Shadows dancing. Hawk pacing. Phone to his ear. Barking orders. I want talk screens yesterday. God damn it. I waited in the oleanders. The thorns snagging my sleeves like warnings. When he stepped out for air, cigar in hand, face carved from granite, I moved. Silent as a shadow. The syringe from my pocket pricking his neck before he could yelp. Etorphine. Elephant trank. Enough to drop a rhino. He crumpled like a bad hand at poker. Drag him to the truck. Zip-tie the wrists. Easy. The man who'd ordered villages glassed couldn't handle a little prick. Back at my place, I dumped him in the tub. Cold water running to wake him slow. By dawn, he'd be sputtering awake. And the questions would start. You awake?
Colonel.
I said when his eyes fluttered. The water lapping at his chin. He thrashed, curses bubbling up. Hell, what the fuck, untie me. You traitorous shit. I crouched by the tub, knife in hand, tracing the edge along his jaw. Traitor? That's rich. Coming from you. Remember Kandahar? The clinic? You hung that on me.
Hawk.
My career for your bars. His eyes widened, then narrowed. Calculating. Always the tactician. That was war.
Son.
Tough calls. You think this fixes it? You'll rot in brag for this. I laughed. Low and bitter. Brag?
Nah.
This is just round one. Laura's breathe in shallow because of me. Your empire? Crumblin'. He spat water. Defiance cracking. She knew the score. We all did. You most of all, beggin' for that transfer. The promotion. I gave you a second chance. Lies. I pressed the blade closer. A nick blooming red. You framed me to cover your ass. The asset. The kid collateral? Fuck that. He went still. Voice dropping to that command timbre. All right.
Jax.
You want truth?
Fine.
It wasn't just me. Brass wanted results.
But you.
You covered for Elena too. She was there. Feeding the intel. Bad call. But yours to own.
Elena.
The name hit like a gut shot.
No.
She wouldn't. But doubt wormed in.
Cold and slick.
I'd check the drive later.
For now, Hawk was mine.
By noon, the base was a hornet's nest, FBI choppers thumping overhead, MPs sweeping quarters. Elena texted, "Where are you? Hawk missing." This on you? I deleted it. Hit the road north. The desert blurred by. Radio crackling with AM preachers ranting about end times.
Fitting.
Albuquerque, by dusk. A motel off Central Avenue with vacancy signs flickering like Morse code. I hold up. Laptop open. Diving deeper into the files. Emails from Elena to Hawk. Target confirmed. Proceed.
Jesus.
She'd known. Played me like a mark. Sleeping with the enemy, literally. That kiss in the motel?
Cover.
Or worse.
Pity.
Rage boiled fresh. Plan B, her. But first, consolidate. I wired cash to a drop in Santa Fe. Picked up burners. Calls to old contacts, guys who'd washed out like me. Nursing grudges in VFW halls from San Diego to Savannah. Night fell heavy. The saguaro shadows clawing at the curtains. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of rubble and ricin. Morning brought news. Laura stable. But comatose. Hawk missing, manhunt on.
Good.
Let them chase ghosts. I hit the road again. 25 north to Colorado. Denver next, where Hawk's dirty money laundered through a buddy's construction firm.
Patered.
The foreman, a greasy ex-Marine named Ruiz, folded easy over beers at a dive called the Rusty Spur. Yeah. Hawk funnels through us. Offshore accounts. Kickbacks from contractors. What's it to ya? Everything, I said, sliding him a photo of the Colonel bound in my tub. Tell me where it hides. Or join him. He sang like a canary shell company's Cayman Keys. I left him breathing, but bruised. Mercy was a luxury I couldn't afford, but necessity, that was negotiable. Back on the interstate. Burner buzzing. Unknown number. Jax. It's me.
Elena.
We need to talk.
Click.
Temptation gnawed, but I smashed the phone under my tire. Trust was a casualty long dead. The Rockies rose like jagged teeth. Snow-capped even in October. Aspen turnoff. A cabin I'd rented under a ghost name. Isolation. Perfect for phase 2. Unpack. Maps.
Dossier.
The .45 with suppressor. Hawk's voice echoed from the drive. Elena too. Was it true? I'd find out soon. The cabin smelled of pine sap and neglect. The kind of place hunters dragged deer carcasses to gut without questions asked. I bolted the door. Windows shuttered with plywood that creaked like old bones in the wind gusting off maroon bells.
Outside.
Aspens shivered gold. Leaves whispering secrets I didn't want to hear. Inside. The laptop hummed, casting blue ghosts on the log walls as I cross-referenced the flash drive with Ruiz's intel. Hawk's web was tighter than I thought, tendrils into D.C. Senators with defense contractor wives. Generals golfing on his dime. But the core?
Elena.
Time-stamped emails. Her SIG. EV, eyes on target. The raid intel? Hers. Sourced from a reliable asset that traced back to a warlord on the take. She'd flipped. Or been flipped. Trading lives for a ticket up the ladder. I slammed the lid. The crack echoing. Betrayal twice over, from the man I called brother-in-arms. And the woman I'd almost called something more. In the sandbox. We'd joked about stateside. Her in a Brooklyn brownstone. Me with a garage full of Harleys. Kids with her fire, and my steel. Pipe dream. Turned poison. Burner 2 rang, same unknown. I let it go to voicemail. Her voice spilling out tinny. Jax. If you're hearing this, stop. Whatever you're doing, it's bigger than us. Hawk's not the devil you think.
Comain.
Let's fix it. Fix it. Like a busted rifle. I deleted, but the ache lingered. Sharp as shrapnel. Phase 2. Hit the money. I drove into Glenwood Springs. A tourist trap with hot springs and hollow-eyed locals slinging lattes to out-of-towners. The bank was small. A branch for Hawk's Shell, Rocky Peak Investments. Fake ID. Wire transfer docs forged on a library printer. Teller barely glanced. Eyes on her phone. 50 grand siphoned. Routed to my Cayman drop. Pocket change for him. Avalanche for me. On the way back. Paranoia kicked in, black SUV tailing too close on Highway 82. I lost in the twists. Heart jackhammering. Feds? Or Hawk's private muscle. Either way. Time to escalate. Night brought rain. Sheets lashing the tin roof like suppressed fire. I cleaned the .45 by lantern light. Oil gleaming. Sleep evaded. Instead. Memories. Laura's laugh at that first base picnic. Genuine before the cracks showed. She'd baked pecan pie. Texas style. Sticky and sweet. For the hero, she'd said, winking at me while Hawk droned on about metrics.
Hero.
What a joke. Dawn broke gray. Coffee black as my mood. Plan. Leak the files. Anonymous drop to a Rolodex reporter in D.C., guy named Kessler. The type who ate scandals for breakfast. Email sent via Tor. Kandahar cover-up. Colonel's lies exposed. Attachments. Scans. Audio of Laura's confrontation. By noon. His reply. Holy shit. Meeting in Denver tomorrow. Neutral ground. Denver was a 2-hour haul. Urban sprawl swallowing the mountains. I ditched the truck for a rental Civic. Nondescript as a minivan mom. The meet was a Starbucks off Colfax. Hipsters typing manifestos while baristas frothed oat milk. Kessler was easy to spot, mid-40s. Rumpled trench. Eyes like a ferret on caffeine. Hail, he hissed, sliding into the booth. You look like death warmed over. Feel like it too. I pushed a burner across the table. Call if you need more. But print it all.
No redacciones.
He pocketed it,
Leaning in.
this could torch careers. Whitaker's tight with the SEC def. You sure? Surer than breath. Print. He nodded.
Slurping his latte.
One thing off record.
Why now?
10 years cold. Because cold turns to ice. And ice cracks under pressure. Personal. Back in the cabin by dusk. News alerts pinged. Fort Bliss probe widens. Poisoning linked to missing officer.
Good.
Let the hounds bay. But Elena wouldn't quit. New burner. New message. Saw the leak. Stupid move.
Jax.
They're coming for you. I texted back. First time, join them.
Send.
Regret immediate. But necessary. Night deepened. Storm raging. Power flickered. Shadows dancing like insurgents. I loaded the clip. Chambered around. Footsteps outside, soft. Deliberate. Not wind. I killed the light. Pressed to the wall. .45 steady.
Door rattled.
Lock picking like a whisper.
Breach.
I swung wide. Barrel kissing temple. Move. And brains paint the porch.
Elena froze.
Hands up. Rain dripping from her parka.
Jax.
It's me. Should have known. I zip-tied her wrists. Shoved her inside. She stumbled to the chair. Eyes defiant. Talk. You first. Poisoning Laura? Kidnapping Hawk? This isn't you. Isn't me? You sold us out in Kandahar. For what? Butter bars. Her face crumpled. Then hardened.
Not like that.
The asset was dirty, double agent. Hawk ordered the hit to plug the leak. I fed the intel because he had dirt on me. My brother. Deported after a bust. Promised to fix it. Leverage. Classic Hawk. And you let me take the fall. You volunteered. Said it was for the team. Tears now. Hot and angry. I loved you.
Jax.
Still do. But this path, it's suicide.
Love.
The word hung. Weaponized. I paced. Knife out. Where's Hawk? Released him in El Paso. He's got resources. Private jet to DC by now. Lawyering up. Slipped the net.
Damn.
And you? Come to save me or rat me out? Save. She strained against ties. Untie me. We run together. Mexico. Canada, anywhere. Temptation clawed. Her scent, rain and jasmine, stirring ghosts. But trust?
Shattered.
Prove it. Call Hawk. Get a confession on tape. She nodded. Burner to ear. Dialed.
Speaker on. Colonel, Elena.
Hails. Compromised. Says you framed him. Hawk's voice. Silk over steel. Vasquez? Where's my man? Tell him.
Sir.
Kandahar. The truth.
Pause.
Eternal. Truth is war's gray.
Sergeant.
Hale knew the risks. Tell him to stand down. Amnesty if he does.
Lie.
I snatched the phone. Smashed it. Not enough. Elena's eyes pleaded. It's something. Please. I cut the ties. Knife nicking skin accidental. Blood welled. A red promise. One chance. Help me end it. We planned through the night. Rain drumming requiem. Her intel. Hawk in DC. Safe house off Embassy Row. Flight manifests hacked via her access.
Dawn.
We rolled. Her Jeep Cherokee. Plates swapped. Interstate 70 East. Plains unfolding endless. Silence thick. Broken only by radio static. Why'd you come? I asked finally. Because you're all I have left. Her hand on my knee. Electric. And because I owe you.
Oh.
The word soured. But for now, alliance held.
DC Lum.
Marble monuments mocking. We ditched the Jeep in Arlington. Subway to Foggy Bottom. Safe house, brownstone. Guarded by suits who looked ex-SEAL. Elena's play, delivery ruse. Florist uniform from a thrift bin. I waited in the van. Suppressor ready. She knocked. Bouquet hiding the taser. Zap, door guard down. Inside. Hawk in study. Scotch in hand. TV droning Fox News spin. He saw her first. Vasquez? What? Me behind. .45 leveled. Miss me? Sir? His face shock. Then calculation.
Hail.
Knew you'd come crawling back. End of the line. I tossed the recorder. Confess. All of it. He laughed.
Hollow.
For what? Your little revenge flick? Feds are outside. Tip line.
Erfa.
Trap.
Elena Spoon.
But too late, door burst. Tack lights blinding. Federal agents. Hands up. Chaos shots. Shattering glass. I fired blind. Hit a vest. Elena tackled me, rolling behind the desk. Run, she yelled. I bolted for the alley. Bullets chewing brick. Sirens wailed. City alive with pursuit. Lost them in the metro. Emerging in Anacostia. Heart a drum. Alone again. But free. And the files? Kessler's story broke at midnight. Betrayal in the ranks. Colonel's deadly secret. Headlines screamed. Congress called hearings. Hawk's star? Singed.
Mine?
Wanted poster. The Anacostia safe house was a shithole, peeling wallpaper like sunburned skin. Mattress sagging with the ghosts of 100 transients. I paid cash to a landlady who didn't ask names. Just eyed the .45 bulge under my jacket and nodded. Sleep came in fits. Dreams of Elena's hand on my knee turning to cuffs on my wrists. Betrayal's echo. Endless. Morning brought burner 3. Kessler. Stories viral. Hawks on leave. Investigation pending. You a hero or a psycho? Both, I texted. More coming. I needed eyes inside. Old army buddy. Tommy Ghost Riley, dishonorably discharged for boosting Humvees. Now a fixer in Baltimore. Met him at a crab shack off the Patapsco. Steam rising like fog of war.
Tommy.
Paunchier but still sly. Cracked a natty light.
Valhalla.
The man who wouldn't die. Heard you're stirrin' shit. Need a tale. On Vasquez. He whistled. Your girl? Rough. But yeah. For old times. 500 up front. Drone footage by nightfall. Clips arrived encrypted. Elena in DC. Debriefing at a Hoover Building annex. Suit beside her. Hawk's lawyer. Silver fox with a briefcase full of NDAs. She looked wrecked. Hair loose. Eyes hollow. Talking animated. Hands gesturing wild. Betraying me again? Or bargaining? Doubt festered. I hit the streets. Pawn shops for burners. Libraries for Wi-Fi. Dug deeper. Elena's brother. Deported to Juarez. Gunned down in a cartel hit last year. Hawk's fix. A lie. Or payoff that bounced. She'd played me. But grief was real. Plan shifted. Not kill her. Break her. Leak her role. Let the wolves circle. But karma's a bitch. Afternoon. News ping. Soldier's wife awakens from coma. Names suspect.
Laura.
Alive.
Talking.
My name on her lips. Poisoned by the man she'd fucked in motels.
Fitz Warren del Paso.
Sketches circulating me. Hooded. But close. Bounty. $50K. Tempting for some. Tommy called. Your girl's movin'. Back to bliss. Convoy style. I tailed. Rental Taurus hugging the blacktop. I-95 to I-81 south. Mountains folding like accordions. Elena's Humvee. Flanked by MPs. I hung back. Drone overhead via Tommy's feed. Night stop in Roanoke. Cracker Barrel lot. I crept close.
Shadows my ally.
She stepped out for air. Phone glowing. Listening to voicemail. Mine?
No.
Hawk. Wrap it up.
Sergeant.
Hales cornered. Your testimony seals it. My blood iced.
Testimony.
Against me. I raised the .45. Suppressor kissing night. One shot. Silenced pop. Tire blowout on her ride. Chaos. MPs diving. Her frozen. Sniper. Yells. Return fire wild. She scanned dark. Eyes locking mine across the lot. Recognition. Horror. I melted away. Heart splintered. Dawn in Knoxville. Motel with a neon vacancy that buzzed like tinnitus. I collapsed. The weight crushing. Love.
Hate. Blurred. Kessler emailed. Exclusive. Vasquez implicated.
Sources say she fed bad intel. My leak landed. Good. But Laura's interview dropped. It was Jackson.
He.
We had an affair. Guilt made him snap. Lies. Or half-truth. The public ate it. Traitor soldier trending. Vets posting rants about loyalty. Fee factions formed. Heroes for Hale. Calling me whistleblower. Traitor's gate. Painting me murderer. Talk radio frothed. Pundits picking sides. I tuned in. Anonymous. Feeling the divide like a knife twist. Tommy. Feds closing in. Ditched the Taurus. Swapped for a Harley in Chattanooga. Wind whipping as I gunned south. Elena's convoy delayed. But she'd talk. Confession or cover. Birmingham by noon. Heat wave making the air soup. Met a contact. Ex-CIA. Bitter from leaks. Named Voss. Want Hawk's real dirt? Black sites. Not just clinics. But it costs. Name it. Your head on a platter. Amnesty play. Tempting.
But no.
Dirt first. He slid a thumb drive over gumbo. Rendition logs. Hawk signed off on waterboardings. Kids included. For bonuses. Monsters. All of us. I leaked it piecemeal. Kessler's pipeline. By evening, Watergate 2.0, military atrocities exposed. Hawk's face on CNN.
Denying. Sweating.
Elena texted from a traced burner. Stop. Please.
For us. Us.
Dead word. I rode hard. Alabama to Mississippi. Bayous brooding. Voodoo in the air. Or just humidity. New Orleans. French Quarter Pulse. Lost myself in Bourbon Street crowds. Jazz wailing like sirens. Bourbon burned throat. Women eyed me wary. One night stand. Forgettable. Her nails raking back like accusations. Morning. News. Elena testifying. Live stream. Capitol Hill. Dressed sharp. Voice steady. Sergeant Hale acted alone. Poisoning. Kidnapping. Personal grudge.
Grudge.
Reduced to that. But twist, she named Hawk too. Command failures in Kandahar. Colonel Whitaker bears responsibility. Double agent still. Or redemption. I watched from a dive bar. Tears mixing with beer. Sides blurred. Her right. Me wrong. Hawk both. Rage reignited. Final play. Confront her at Bliss. Ride west. I-10, endless. Desert welcomed back.
Familiar Hell. El Paso lights.
Base fences looming. Infiltrate at midnight.
Wirecutters snipping.
Her quarters, light on. Silhouette pacing. I knocked soft. Door cracked. Her face shock. Then steel. Jacks. Talk. Inside. Sparse. Caught. Duffel. Photos of us in frames cracked. Why? I demanded. Gun loose. Because I had to. Feds had me cornered. But I buried you on Hawk. He's done, resigned. Facing court. Truth? Gun lowered. And us. She stepped close. Hand to scar. Us was real.
Is. Quiche.
Desperate. Salt and blood. But doubt lingered. Laura? She's lying. For him. Protectin' the kid.
Kid.
Hawks. Or? Phone buzzed, Kessler. Bombshell. DNA test. Whitaker's wife pregnant. Paternity? Hales. World tilted. Twist knife. Laura's coma confession? Leverage. I pulled back. What now? Fight together.
Sue.
Expose. Win.
Tempt.
But Hawk's shadow loomed. MP's at door. Vasquez. Open up. Betrayal 3. Her eyes, regret.
Sorry.
Cuffs cold. Ride to brig eternal. Elena's testimony? Set up. But in cell. Whisper from guard, Tommy. She's on your side. This buys time. Hope flickered. Game not over. The brig at Fort Bliss was a concrete womb. Air thick with bleach and despair. Fluorescent hum drilled into my skull. 23 hours a day under the glare. They stripped me bare, literally. Cavity search courtesy of a MP with a grudge and a rubber glove. Traitor, he muttered, snapping latex. I stared at the wall. Counting tiles, 487. Give or take a crack. Interrogation started at dawn.
Jag har Sizzling.
Lead. Major Ellis. Ivy League polish over pitbull teeth. Sergeant Hale, or should I say, Mr. Fugitive? Let's chat about ricin. Homemade. From castor beans in your garden? I leaned back. Chains rattling like maracas. Never gardened. Allergies. He smirked. Sliding photos. Laura's hospital bed. Tubes like 4 vines. Hawk's empty office. Desk cleared. She ID'd you. Affair gone sour.
Motive.
She's protecting someone. Ask her about the clinic. Ellis's eyes flickered. Kessler's leaks hitting home. Whistleblower.
Huh?
Or vengeful cuckold. Vasquez says you snapped.
Elena.
My Judas with a halo. She lied too. He tapped the table. Testimonies gold. But inconsistencies. Your prince nowhere. Convenient.
Game.
I clammed, lawyered up via Tommy, public defender named Ruiz.
Nori Lasgen.
But scrappy. Plea? Hell no, he growled over phone. We countersue. Defamation. Wrongful imprisonment. Cells buzzed with chatter. Grunts in for AWOL. DUIs. One vet. Grizzled Korean war holdover. Slipped me smokes. Heard your story.
Kid.
65. Same shit. Brass covers ass. We eat dirt. Solidarity. Thin but real. Week 1. Visitors, none. Week 2.
Elena.
Glass partition. Her and civvies. Hollow-cheeked.
Jax. God. I'm sorry.
Save it. Your testimony buried me. She pressed hand to glass. Cover. Feds think I'm cooperating. But I fed them Hawk's logs. He's indicted. War crimes. Progress. And me. Working it. DNA leak?
I pushts Kessler.
Paternity's Hawks. Laura lied to smear. Kid mine?
No.
Relief. But ache for what if? Why risk? Because I love, guard banged.
Time.
Ruiz next. Good news. Bail hearing. Public outcry. Vets marching in D.C. Free hail. Factions groan. Protests outside gates. Signs. Truth over brass. Counter. Justice for Laura. Talk shows debated. Hero or homegrown terrorist. Hearing in El Paso federal court. Circus atmosphere. Cameras flashing. Protesters chanting. Judge Harlan, no relation. Banged gavel. Bail denied. Flight risk. Back to brig. Rage simmering. Tommy's smuggled drive. Voss's black sites. Leaked via Ruiz. Splash. Hale's evidence. Torture empire. Hawk's empire cracked. Resignation presser. Smear campaign. Loyal soldier gone rogue.
Lies.
Public split wider, some cheering my name. Others burning effigies. Elena's slip note. Plan B.
Hang tai.
Week 4. Riot in yard. Drunk grunt swung on MP. All hell. I joined fray. Took baton to ribs. But snagged keys. Bolt for fence.
Wide reaping flesh. Free.
Desert night. Stars indicting. Tommy's pickup idling. Go time. Safe house in Juarez. Irony. Elena's brother turf. Crossed border black. Cartel ghosts watching. Apartment overlooking plaza. Mariachi echoing. Elena there. Duffel packed. We run.
No.
Finish. Plan. Confront Laura. She's key. Witness flip. Dawn raid on hospital. Scrubs and badges forged. Her room. Frail. Monitors beeping. Eyes opened.
Fear.
Jax. Truth.
Laura.
The kid. The lies.
Tears.
Hawk forced it. Confession script. But the affair. Real. I loved you. Not him.
Gut punch.
Why poison?
Guilt.
Wanted out. Thought you'd save me. Wrong target. Mercy stirred. Testify true. She nodded. For you. But alarms, nurses, MPs. Escape narrow. Bullets pinging. Back across. Feds sealing border. Hide in Big Bend. Canyon swallowing. News, Laura recants. Coerced. Hawk arrested. Cuffs on live TV. Elena's face on screen. Justice served. But twist. Voss calls.
Hale?
Brass deeper. SEC def involved. Your leaks? Traced. Trap within trap. Feds not after me, protecting higher. Paranoia peaked. Trust who? Elena? Confront. Meet in canyon. Moon high. Her Jeep crunched gravel. Jax. Gun out. Whose side? Yours. Proof. Flash drive. SEC def emails to Hawk. Cover for sites.
Alliance renewed.
We go public.
All.
But chopper thump black. Unmarked.
Shots.
Elena down. Red bloom.
No.
I fired back. Rotor hit.
Crash.
Flames. Feds swarm. I drag her. Border run.
You arrêtes er.
Bribes for docs. She lives, got shot. But tough.
Me?
Wanted dead or alive. Hideout. Her pale. Worth it. Always. Juarez pulsed like a fever. Streets alive with Ticarius hawking al pastor and narcos in lowriders blasting corridos. Our bolt hole was a flop house off Avenida Tecnologico. Walls thin as promises. Roaches marching like infantry. Elena lay on the cot. Bandages white against brown skin. Morphine drip jury-rigged from black market vials. Her breath ragged. Eyes fluttering.
Jax.
Don't. I paced. .45 holstered but itching.
Gotta.
SEC defs the head. Cut it off. She grabbed my wrist. Weak but iron.
Suicide.
He's untouchable. Pentagon. Langley ties. Untouchable. Like Hawk once. Then we burn it all. Tommy wired funds. Voss fed cords. SEC def Harlan Thorpe. Same Harlan as the judge?
No coincidence.
Cabin in Shenandoah. Retreat with armed detail. Flight risky. Bush plane from a dirt strip near Chihuahua. Pilot a smuggler with a death wish. Elena protested. Stay. Heal.
No.
Together. Loaded her in.
Prop cough starting.
Airborne. Sierra Madres below like dragon spines. She slept. Head on my shoulder. Love or last stand. DC approach. Drop in West Virginia woods. Parachute tandem, her strap tight. Landing rough. Ankles twisting. Hike to highway. Stolen truck. Shenandoah dawn. Mist veiling ridges. Cabin perched. Binoculars spotting. Thorpe. 60s. Silver fox golfing with suits. Guards 4. Rotating. Infill, night. Elena distracting, hiker's ploy. Lost phone call. I slipped stream bed. Mud camouflage. Inside.
Toppe in den.
Fire crackling. Scotch swirling. Who's there? Voice like gravel under treads.
Me.
Suppressor whisper. End of tour. General. He froze. Glass midway.
Hale.
Knew you'd come.
New. Complicity.
Kandahar. You signed. He set glass down.
Come.
Necessary evils. War's not for poets. Evil.
Knife out.
Tracing vein. Confess. Recorded. He laughed. For what? Your martyr complex? Vasquez is alive. Feds have her. Bluff. Heart seized. Lies.
Truth.
She flipped for real this time. Immunity. Doubt tsunami. Knife pressed. Call her. Burner dialed.
Speaker.
Elena's voice. Strained. Jax?
Don't.
It's a trap.
Click.
Guards breached, alarms wail. Fight. Thorpe lunged. Brass lamp cracked to jaw. I reeled. Fired wild.
Door burst.
Tack vests. Out window. Roll down slope. Brambles tearing. Bullets zipped. One grazing thigh. Fire bloom.
Run.
Limp to truck.
Elena.
Captured or cover. Radio crackled. Stolen. Suspect fleeing east. Lethal force authorized. Interstate 66. Dawn traffic shield. Wound bound with shirt. Blood sticky. News. SEC-def attacked. Rogue soldier blamed. Public frenzy. Hail hero versus stop the killer.
Potet DC.
Vets clashing with cops. Safe house Alexandria. Tommy's contact. Widow with a basement. Hide here. Elena's in holding. Lawyered. Relief. Sour. Flipped? No. Her voice begged stop. Heel thigh. Plot next. Leak Thorpe's confession. Snagged recorder in scuffle.
Kisla. Gold.
But you're hot. Exfil? Canada? Mexico?
No. Fight.
Raid holding. Elena's brig. Quantico. Tommy's crew. 3 ex-grunts. Grudges deep.
Night op. Drone hem signals.
Cutters on fence. Inside. Alarms silent. Her cell. Jax. Embrace brief. Chains cold.
Out.
Escape convoy. Shootout at gates. Tires blown. Feds pursuing. I-95 south. Bullets shattering rear glass. Head to Savannah, she gasped. Hawk's old stash boat. Offshore.
Hawk.
Facing trial. But allies deep. Savannah dawn. Salt marsh stink. Docks. Trawler waiting. Ruiz the lawyer. At helm.
Go.
Bahamas run. Aboard. Engines thrum. Elena bandaged fresh. Us on deck. Wind whipping. Twist. Thorpe's kid. Your contact? No. Hawk's bastard. Pulling strings.
Family.
Blood deeper betrayal. But free.
For now.
Public split. My rescue leaked. Heroes chant. Others. Cop killer. Debate rages. Right? Wrong?
Gray.
We sail. Horizon blood red. The trawler cut Atlantic swells like a knife through fat. Diesel rumble vibrating bones. Bahamas loomed. Turquoise tees. But we skirted Nassau too hot. Feds with Interpol strings. Instead, Andros Island. Kay's tangled mangrove. Hide out a shack on crabclaw spit.
Ruiz Anker Dovsore.
Skiff drop.
2 weeks.
Then Venezuela pickup. Elena and I ashore. Salt crusting wounds. Shack, hammocks, conch shells, generator sputtering. Paradise, she quipped, wincing as I changed dressing. Hell with a view. I scanned horizon. Paranoia scope. Drones? Satellites? Nights. We talked, real.
Raw.
Kandahar ghosts. Her brother's death. Hawk's false promise. I fed intel to save him. Failed anyway. My scar, shrapnel from the clinic blast, or conscience, took fall 'cause believed in us. Team.
Us.
Kiss under stars.
Tentative.
Still. Always. But idol cracked. Day 3. Radio static. Kessler. Hawk's trial starts. Your name star witness, subpoena issued. Laughable. Fugitive witness? Public. Polls split 48 to 52. Me misunderstood patriot to domestic terrorist. Op-eds. Hails revenge. Justice or jihad. Vets groups fundraisers for defense. Counters sue for victims. Twist. Laura testifies. Live feed. We watch on SAT TV. Pale.
Poised.
Jackson didn't poison me.
It was.
Suicide attempt. Guilt over affair. Clinic. Bombshell. Hawk's team erupts. Mistrial motion. Her eyes to camera. For me, Fed spin, coerced. But doubt seeds. Elena, she's free. Divorce filed. Mercy chain. Storm hit day 7. Hurricane fringe. Winds howl. Waves battering. Generator dies. Dark close. Huddled. Thunder punctuation. If we die, she whispered. Worth it. Dawn clear. Rainbow mocking. Skiff back. But Ruiz gone hijacked?
No.
Note. Feds.
Run. Chased.
Powerboat pursuit. Wakes crossing.
Gunfire.
.45 bark. Hit engine. Smoke plume. Beach Andress. Sprint mangroves. Hide cave. Echoes drip. Feds land.
Search.
Voices. Vasquez. Hail. Surrender. Her hands squeeze. Fight.
No. Wait.
Nightfall. They pull. Chopper thump fades. Tommy radio. Clear. Venezuela on. But Elena collapses fever. Infection.
No meds.
Risk. Nassau Clinic.
Bribes.
Doc patches. But eyes narrow. Yankees? Bad time. Feds raid mid-op. Tip? Bullets fly.
Dock down.
Escape gurney. Her wheeled. Boat again. Cuba-bound neutral? Castro ghosts. Havana harbor. Dawn gold. Safe household fidelista. Rum and cigars.
Elena Mins. Slow.
News. Hawk convicted. Manslaughter. Not murder. Light sentence. 5 years.
Rage.
Light. Start. She shows docs. Appeals. Retrials. Public. Me acquitted in absentia. Evidence insufficient. Hero now.
No.
SEC def Thorpe resigns. Scandal web. But twist. Voss calls. Hale. Elena's brother. Not dead. In witness protection. Hawk's play. Leverage lie. Her face crumbles. Bastard. Revenge cycle. We plan. Infill Cuba deep. Leak final files. Thorpe's Cayman vault.
Agviatomi.
Millions frozen.
Joust DC.
Feds offer amnesty. Come home.
Tempt.
Elena. Us. Home. But blood calls. Storm 2. Cuba hurricane.
Direct.
Shack floods. Escape inland. Havana chaos. Looters. We join. Scavenge.
Kamai. Her. Enough.
Live.
Kiss seal.
But chopper, U.S. markings.
Hale.
Cease. Fight final. .45 empty. Her knife. Wound.
But win.
Capture? No. Pilot, Tommy. Rogue. Exfil. Canada. North. Endless. Canada border cross black. Tommy's bush plane whispering over pines. Vancouver safe. Rain-slick streets. Anonymity in fog.
Elena walked united.
Scar badge of honor. New names, she asked.
Coffee steaming in Gastown Cafe.
Jax and Lena Moore. Writers. Maybe. Laugh fragile. But peace? Elusive. News followed. Thorpe indicted. Full scandal, black sites exposed. Inquiries cascading. Hawk's appeal denied. Leavenworth bound. Laura? Settled civil. Quiet life, Austin suburbs. Public verdict, me.
Folkero.
Books pitched. Hale's reckoning. Protests morphed parades. Vets toasting the Avenger. But sides lingered. Families of clinic dead. Vigils. No heroes in gray.
Guilt gnaw.
Elena sensed. We righted wrong.
Did we?
Twist final. DNA retest.
Leaked. Kid? Mine.
Laura's last lie? Or truth? Confront via burner. Why? Her voice break. Hawk knew. Used it, threaten abortion. Wanted you broken. Broken.
Yes. But now?
Father fugitive. Elena. We claim? Or ghost? Choice. Sides forever. We ghost. Rocky's cabin. Real this time, fireplace crackle. No ghosts. Winter deep. Snowberry past. Her belly swells, ours.
Life.
Revenge's end? But knock door, Tommy. Feds closing. Amnesty real.
Tempt.
Home. Trial.
Truth.
Elena. Go.
No.
Stay. Final leak. All files. Unredacted. World judge.
DC dup, desigang tin.
Reforms. Military reckoning. Us. Free.
Wild.
But debate rages. Heroes or villains. Right or ruin. Gray wins. Always. Spring thaw. Baby cry.
Boy.
Eyes blue like mine. Name, Harlan. Irony bite. Life continues. Shadows long. Was it worth? Ask the rubble.
The betrayed.
I say yes. Years blurred. Canada wilds our fortress. Little Harlan, Harry grew feral. Chasing deer tracks. Asking of the war daddy fought.
Elena homeschooled.
Stories sanitized. Heroes win. Villains fade. But fades lie. 2030. News ping. Hawk paroled. Reformed. Book deal duties price. Smirk from cell. Rage stir. Old friend. Elena. Let go.
Can't.
Tommy visits. Grizzled. He's touring. Austin next. Road call. We drive south. Border soft with bribes.
Elena Stice.
Harry's safe. Austin. Convention Center. Hawk on stage. Silver-haired sage. Crowd hanging. Vets. Admirers. Sycophants. Backstage pass forged. Ghost in. Him alone. Mirror adjusting tie. Colonel. Turn slow. Eyes steel.
Hale.
New. Gun out. Old .45. Finish. He steps close.
No flinch.
Already did. Lost everything, wife. Stars,
Soul. You?
one. Family, truth,
Barbed.
crowd murmurs. Shoot, he whispers. Make me martyr.
No.
Lower. Live with it. Walk out.
Free.
But twist. Harry call. Elena frantic.
Feds. Tip.
Old leak. Rush north. But late. Raid. Tommy dead. Them cuffed.
Me?
Surrender border. Trial spectacle. World watches.
Testimony. Elena.
Unbowed. He saved me. Us. Verdict. Acquitted. Heroes welcome.
No. Debate eternal.
Hawk testifies last. Hale righted my wrong. Forgive. Crowd split. Cheers.
Bosch.
Release. Family reunion. Rockies again.
Ending?
Happy? Tragic? You decide. Graze the American way. Revenge. Pyrrhic victory. Blood price. Worth? Always. Fade to desert wind. Echoes.